Now, many stories have been trading in the past 1 week since we're here, and a lot of stories actually have been repetitive. Now, let me explain. Security is still an issue. Over the weekend, children from the Bethel School in Kaduna State regained their freedom from the hands of the kidnappers. And I had pity on those children when I saw them. Some of them were looking lean, traumatized, devastated, and it was tears all through the families, some tears of joy, and some real serious tears because not all the children have been released. And I keep asking a question on this show. Can't we take care of this issue? Because when we go on traumatizing the children that are meant to be leaders of tomorrow, what crop of leaders do we intend to have, or where are we going to have? Are we even going to have leaders taking after us? To the issues of the moment. Fact, Face, and Forum is the program. And my name is Peace Isaac-Yerokun. Welcome. Let's write together. I'll start with this quote by Vince Lombardi, that leaders are made, they are not born. They are made by hard effort, which is the price which all of us must pay to achieve any goal that is worthwhile. Leaders are present in the families and organization for ease of organization, for ease of work. Even in biblical times, God created leaders. The head of the home is the man. That's for smooth operations in the family. And so even when you give birth to children, you see some of them with some leadership traits. But this guy, Vince Lombardi, said leaders are not born. I don't know whether you agree with me. Now today on this program, we have someone who would tell us whether leaders are born or made. After the break, I'll introduce my guest. Stay with us. You're welcome back. This is still Facts, Face, and Forum. On this program today, on this week's edition, we'll be looking at leadership, or the role of leaders in an evolving world. You know, the world is evolving. Things are changing, in fact, on a very speed lane. Now, they say children, present-day children are called millennial children. They are called the computer children, the internet, social media children. And so things are bound to change, in the approach of training and leadership style. We have a leadership and management expert on board today. Dr. Aderonke Tiwo is here with us on Triple F to examine this topic. Thank you so much for being here.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Now, you are a leadership and management expert, and I believe with your wealth of knowledge, we'll be able to know, how to make adjustments in our leadership style and what could be the problem that we may be experiencing in leadership administration, various organizations and communities, and of course, government. Now, I did say in my previous intro, not quoting an expert here, leader, or Vince Lombardi, who said leaders are born and not made. So I'd like to ask, who are leaders?
Thank you very much. Who is a leader? A leader is one that has in charge of a situation, as it were. Let's put it in a layman's language. Even it dates back to the biblical times. God had to bring somebody to be a leader over the Israelites. So the leader is in charge. It takes care of the group, of the member, to achieve a certain desired objective. So a leader is one who who would influence his members, who would influence his followers, who would influence his people, and guide them towards achieving the set objectives.
A set objective, positive or negative?
Positive.
No, because at every sphere we have leaders.
Yeah,
even thugs have leaders.
That's true. It has to be positive. Positive in line with the organizational goals,
okay.
in line with the standard of the country, for instance. Whatever you have set out to achieve, the leader should be able to guide the people. They would influence. That's the key word for the leaders. You must be able to influence people to what you want.
Okay. Now, someone said something about, somebody being a disruptor. Would you say a leader is a disruptor?
If the status quo, like you said, is not positive, it could be a disruptor because he's looking at the best thing for the company. He's looking at the best goal. He's saying how he's going to achieve the set goals. So if it could be a disruptor if what you're doing is just some laissez-faire attitude, some I don't care attitude. So if you're going to have a leader that will be pragmatic, that wants to achieve the goals, it will disrupt the system.
Okay. So to be a good leader, what are the qualities? Because we want to focus on the positive now. What makes a good leader? Okay,
before we go into that, I just clearly want to show you the kind of leadership that we have, traits that we have.
Okay.
That's what we call the transactional leader. And there are four that I will just mention here. Transactional leader, transformational leader, a servant leader, and a laissez-faire leader. A laissez-faire leader is just like the one you just said. Is it positive or negative? A laissez-faire leader just stays there, just do whatever you like. He doesn't care as long as he's the leader. The people under him take the decision, and he just flow with them. A servant leader, of course, the one we can take for a servant leader is Jesus Christ. He's a leader. And then you hear, at some point in time, we saw that Jesus was washing the feet of his disciples. You read that in the Bible. That is the servant leader. On top of that is what we call the transactional leader. Who is a transactional leader? A transactional leader is the one that gives you the goal. It tells you these are the objectives, that are the things that we want to achieve in the organization. We have to achieve it. If you don't achieve it, and like in the bank, you're given targets. If you don't achieve it, there's going to be problems, and it's going to be punitive. So a transactional leader is one that it gives you the things to do, and you must achieve, and if you don't achieve, there are penalties for it. However, the best of the lot is a transformational leader. He inspires. The transformational leader knows, he goes beyond giving jobs, he goes beyond giving tasks. He ensures, he motivates you to make sure that you do the tasks. And that by doing that, he inspires you. And then you see him and like, this man, just because of the way he carries about himself, is the one that would, although he has given you the target, he has given you the job, he has given you the tasks to do, he will ensure that you do it. For instance, you just left home and your daughter was ill and you just came to work, you couldn't just do anything. A transformational leader will come in, how would he help you? We'll try to see how he would try to help you to ensure that, fine, you have a problem at home, would you want to go home, or would you want me to do this, do that? That's a transformational leader, and that is the best type of leadership. Okay,
in terms of leading people now, is it possible to, depending on the people you're leading, depending on the situation, would you be a transformational leader in one situation, and in another situation, you are a laissez-faire leader, depending on the situation? So does the situation warrant the kind of leadership approach you adopt, or the kind of leader you are?
I'm not sure the situation decides the kind of leadership. It's like you mentioned earlier. If you have the leadership traits, it's inborn. You are just a go-getter. You just want to get it. A laissez-faire leader is, I have put people here, I've put that one here, they should be able to do it, and whatever they do, it's all right. He doesn't really care. That does not connote leadership. Okay. A leader is one that is aggressive, he wants it done, it's strategic, it looks at what is happening in the world at a large, globalization, he wants to copy the best things that are done. That is the leader. A leader wants things done in the right way. He's not going to be laissez-faire here today and transformation. No, if you're a transformational leader, you're a leader. You're a transformational leader.
In our evolving world, because that's what we're dealing with. What are the roles, or what roles should leaders play in a world like ours that is evolving?
Leaders should set out clear-cut duties and roles. These are what we want to achieve. It should be clear to everybody. If I work together with you in an organization, it should be clear to me that my madam wants us to meet 100% of our targets, or this is the goal that has been set for us, we must meet it. So the leader must set clear-cut goals, must let people know that this is what we're doing, and must be able to assist, to guide them, to ensure that they do what the rules are. It's not that you just sit down and say, go and do it. For instance, if I come here and say, okay, go to the market, for instance, and the market is far from here, and I expect you to come and cook food, and the place is so far, and I've not provided the transport, I've not told somebody to take you, I've not given you money to take the bus or the cab, I haven't helped you. Even though at the end of the day, my goal is to eat the food, but I haven't helped you to achieve it. Am I communicating?
Yes, you are.
So the leader must be able to set out clear-cut plans, let us know that this is it, and must put processes in place to help the followers to achieve it. And at the same time, must be able to assist them. It doesn't have to be all, you have to do this, I'm going to, like a transactional leader. No, you have to be like sensitive to what they want. You have to be like you have to share with them their plight and then help them, infuse them, inspire them to achieve the role.
There are leadership issues in every sphere, in organizations, in the country at large, at the local government, at the state, and the federal level. Now, are there adjustments? Are we satisfied with the kind of leadership we're experiencing? If not, are there some adjustments that should be made to drive Nigeria to the point of excellence, or to make Nigeria to be the country of our dreams? We all know the situation in the country now. There is no hiding. We all know what is going on. I just said in my intro, there are some children that were kidnapped and they were traumatized. They just got released. And this thing is happening like all the time. So I believe if we all lend our voices that, you know, even mildly dealing with issues, probably we could have this problem arrested.
Two things. You said Nigeria. What kind of leadership do we want in Nigeria? I'll be honest with you. Vibrant, beautiful leaders that can go the whole hog out, that understand globalization, that understand what happens in the world. And we're in the tech era that can do all these things that other world countries are doing.
Now, let me digress a little bit. Are we not, because sometimes when we look at the issues that happen, then we look at the reaction of Nigerians, this reaction of followers, and we begin to ask ourselves, who actually is the problem? Is it our leaders, or is it a followership problem? Is there nothing? As followers, are we getting it all right? What adjustments should we make? Because it's like a give or take situation, if I may describe. We all want a good Nigeria, the leaders and the followers alike. So what would be, what's your own take?
I think the issue lies with all of us. We're not talking, we're afraid. We should find a forum, a way that the leaders will listen to us. It's just that we don't know how to go about it. There must be some things that we will do that will make them listen. One of which I think is to have people in local government, grassroots. You have them, you have the people in local governments and local government areas. You can just get people to talk, organize people, let them air their views. You know, collate it. It doesn't have to be, I don't have to be right as a leader all the time. I could learn from you. So we could gather views of people on so many issues. And then table it before our people. Collate and table before our, and of course the leaders must be such that must have listening ears. They must be willing to listen to us. I don't get the feel that, I don't know, I'm not close to the people up there, but we are not hearing anything. And when you are not hearing anything, you can't talk. You don't even know what they're thinking, you know? So to some extent, yes, to us, we followers, all of us are followers, really.
Yes.
All of us. So we sometimes we sit down and we complain in our closets. We should complain more out, maybe not fighting, but let our views be heard in the right manner. Table it before. Look at I think in Lagos State, for instance, I don't see why state governors, in those days, we used to have state governors come to radio station, you know, in the morning. I remember in those days in Oyo State, the governor, you would talk to him, you ask him questions, and he would tell you about what he's doing. And then people can ask questions. We used to have those in the old days. People will ask you questions and say, we don't like the one you have done, what you're doing here. But, you know, and then they get to hear us. That is not happening no more. There has to be a way that the government should be able to listen to the people. Some people feel marginalized. You have to listen to them. It is a conflict that must be resolved. You understand? We can't just say, no, you have to. No. Listen to them. It may be just that by the time you weigh everything together, all of you come to an agreement and it's easier. Then you can move. The economy moves. The nation moves forward. But you don't lord it over people. Not all the time. They will take it at some point, they will react.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome.
I think it's all been said, is talking and being listened to. There should be a common ground. You know, there should be a meeting point for both the leaders and the listeners. At the end of it all, is for us to achieve the Nigeria or the environment of our dreams. Thank you so much, Dr. Aderonke Tayo Tiwo, for being here.
You're welcome.
We've been talking with Dr. Aderonke Tayo Tiwo on the role of leadership or the role of leaders in an evolving world. To be a good leader, you must be a good listener. Moving on. The next segment of our program today, the health segment, is going to focus on halitosis, that is how to take care of bad breath.
So all of us love to look beautiful, all of us love to smell beautiful, and the first thing when you come closer to a person is the odor from the mouth. And sometimes it's very, very embarrassing. Today, I can tell you that however beautiful you look, but if you don't smell good from your mouth, and if there is a bad breath from your mouth, it's something very, very disheartening and very, very embarrassing. So what is bad breath? It is called as halitosis, and something which probably from your mouth, you can actually smell it yourself, and somebody who comes closer can also smell it. So that's bad breath. How does bad breath generate? First, it could be probably due to a bad tummy. It could be probably due to bad systemic health or poor digestion, or it could be purely because of lack of oral hygiene. You can have tons and tons of these calculus. Calculus means those plaque and tartar in your mouth. You have not been brushing at night. You have been probably eating a lot of garlic and onions, and you've not been cleaning your teeth properly and not been using the particular type of mouthwashes recommended. So please don't Google, please don't do your home remedies, please visit your dentist. A very simple procedure that the dentist is going to do for you is a routine oral prophylaxis, scaling and polishing as it is called, cleaning with an ultrasonic cleaner. Mind you, it's not painful. Even if the bleeding happens, that's because of your unhealthy gums and that's what all the infection is going to come out. So don't get alarmed by the amount of blood that pools into your mouth when the dentist is cleaning. It's an ultrasonic small little tip which is actually going to remove all your plaque and tartar, which actually a brush is not going to do. So that little thing is removed. Maybe it would take 1, 2 or 3 visits for a complete cleaning. Your dentist is going to tell you to use a mouthwash. Now mouthwash is something again you have to judiciously pick up from your market. Don't pick up mouthwashes just which are marketing gimmicks. They have to have the content of chlorhexidine gluconate, because that's the medicated antimicrobial mouthwash. It is also plaque repellent. So this is the kind of mouthwash that you need to use once you do a cleanup, and then you must brush your teeth at night and do a regular mouthwash in the morning and at night, so that you develop a particular oral hygiene protocol, a regimen, that we take a bath every day, so we need to give a bath to our teeth as well every day. Very, very important.
Congratulations, Esther. I wish I have such a sonorous voice as yours. Congratulations. And thank you out there for being part of this show today. It's been serious. It's also been relaxing. I hope we've informed, we've entertained you, and we've educated you on this edition of Facts, Face, and Forum. Thank you for being there for us. My name is Peace Isaac-Yerokun. I'll see you again next week. Follow us on our social media platforms. And please, your feedback is very necessary for us to move on this program. As you feed us back, we also need your contribution to make this program grow. Thank you again, and bye for now.